BF, 20M, never takes a day off. I, 20F, don't know what to do. My BF has always been a boxing fanatic and loves everything about the sport. We've been together for 2 years now. In the total, 3 years, that I've known him, I've never seen him take a day off. It's having a huge strain on me and our relationship. We barely meet during the week. The only time I see him is if I go over to his parents' house and he's always in his garage working out. He has his phone off 9/10 so it doesn't distract him. He doesn't go out with me on dates. We barely talk and I feel like if I stopped making the effort then he could go years without talking to me. He sees watching TV/series/relaxing as a waste of time and says weird stuff like he'll have plenty of time to rest in the grave. When I first met him he was the exact same, but he's funny and I really liked him and still do like him. He told me how he wants to marry me and asked if I share the same feelings for him. He told me how if I wanted to be with him then I'd have to be patient and play the long game as he's only in it for marriage. I agreed thinking this was just a phase and he'd soon change. Boy was I wrong. He's obsessed with this idea that someone out there is chasing him. Someone out there has the same goals and dreams as him and is working harder than him and is outworking him. That someone out there is doing more than him when I'm certain that's not even possible, like Jer does 16 hours a day. I tried convincing him that this thinking/mindset isn't rational and it's unhealthy, but he's convinced. He says stuff like there's so many billions of people out there and the chances of someone with the same goals/dreams and the chances of them outworking him are huge. I feel like we're in two complete different worlds, that he's in a world of his own. My friends are saying how it's creepy that he never leaves his garage besides going for a run in the morning and evening, and I should move on and find someone better and more compatible. I don't want to leave, but I can't live with this currently. Too long didn't read. BF, 20 meters, obsessed with training and never takes a day off, claiming that there's someone out there that's outworking him. It has been like this for 2 years now. I, 20F, don't know that to do. Wait, I'm confused. You say my BF, but this man is clearly in a relationship with himself. Yeah, how did you meet a guy who never leaves his garage? There is nothing here that suggests a relationship. There is even less here that suggests this man understands what marriage would actually entail. I mean, look at how he works at his other goals, and then look at how he works on his relationship while claiming he's only in it for marriage. He's bullshit you both to maintain the comfortable stalemate where you provide him with whatever he feels you provide him with, while he gives you hollow and transparent excuses. He's myopic. He barely registers your presence. He'll barely notice your absence. I'm not seeing anything that makes me think relationship here. If you barely see each other, never go on dates, or do anything that you want to do, I'm not even sure you're in a relationship at this point. His obsession with working out/boxing sounds pretty unhealthy to me, and I'm not sure there's really anything you can do but cut your losses. He's clearly unconcerned about making time for you, and by the sounds of it that's not going to change. You need to be hard with yourself and wonder if this is the future you want. You've spoken about marriage. Is that who you want to be married to? What is his job? And I'd repeat to him what he said to you: if he is in it for marriage, you have to put in the work to make a relationship marriage worthy. But truthfully, you can't change someone. You either have to accept it, or leave. I'm sorry about that. In this sense, he has to fall flat on his face before he'll realize his way of life is mentally unhealthy. He was working at a coffee store but quit shortly after BC. He said it was a distraction and was slowing him down. He doesn't work in and just lives off his parents. He always tells me how everything is going to be different once his boxing career takes off. First, while this doesn't seem in any way healthy on his side, you have no reasonable expectation that this behavior will change. Ever. He could end up just as obsessive about the next goal if this one falls through. Second, simply from your perspective it sounds like he needs therapy. That's nothing you can do and not something you can really force him into. If he hasn't injured himself already in 3 years of constant exercise, he is at least careful enough to not be a risk to himself. Third, I don't know if you should think of yourself as dating for 2 years. In 2 years of dating, the average couple will have spent hundreds if not thousands of hours together getting to know each other. How much time have you spent together? Ask your friends what they know of their souls and see if you know the same things about yours. Lastly, unless you want to start working out with him regularly and asking him to teach you, if he'd even appreciate the distraction, what do you plan to do together? Sounds like he doesn't have any other hobbies or interests. You would be sharing his life of boxing. Do you like boxing? Would you be willing to watch and understand the sport and everything that goes with it? I agree with your friends. Not only does it sound like you shouldn't be dating, it sounds like you never actually started. I finally have very strong feelings for someone after an abusive relationship and being convinced I was emotionless. I, 25F, have been seeing a guy, 29M, for like 3 months. He is my boyfriend. We're exclusively dating each other. I am always very non-emotional. I was in a seriously abusive relationship, and I had been convinced that I would never feel the same lovey feelings ever again, but about a week ago my car died. I was planning on meeting my boyfriend for dinner the day the car died, and I told him I might be late because of the car, but I'd be there. The engine of my car was suddenly ticking really loud. I knew it was gonna die on the way home from work, basically because of the ticking sound. I was picking up a new car from the dealer the next day, so the old car just had to make it like 12 more hours. The new car is my first nice and new car, so I was excited even with the old car about to die. I had the old car for a long time and it had a lot of miles on it. I planned to drive the old one until it died, and that I did. The engine leaked all its oil suddenly while driving. It was oil starved and seized up. My boyfriend texted me as soon as the car died that he would come get me if my car died. Not to worry, a funny coincidence. My dad was coming to tow my car, and my boyfriend came up there to keep me warm and push my car to a safer spot so my dad could access it better since it died in the middle of the road, and I had tried to get it to roll to a decent spot before it lost momentum. He helped me. He pushed my car to a good spot for me. He took time to come check on me and wait with me for my dad, and then he took me to dinner after. He didn't get anything from this. He made sure I was safe and warm and not upset. He drove me home. He helped my dad put it on the trailer actually. He genuinely cares about me. I have not had sex with this man yet, and he genuinely cares. Ever since that happened I am like 10x more into him. I don't know why or how this had such an impact, it just did. He's very nice to everyone, but I was just shocked that he stopped what he was doing to come keep me warm and happy. I'm just really happy. No man has ever done anything like that for me other than my dad. He didn't have to do that at all. I told him I was fine, I would be alright, and he still came up there. The last guy I dated was abusive AF. I live out of state with him, and when our car had an issue I didn't know how to fix, he had told me to figure it out myself, because he wasn't going to drive again after work and pick me up. He was the only person I knew, and I was stranded in a different state because he wanted to play video games. I think I'm scared now. I want this man in my life, and I'm scared. TLDR, I feel very strongly about my boyfriend after he helped me when my car died. I am unsure why this affected my feelings so much, but it did, and I'm a bit scared now. Well, it's nice to be treated nicely for no reason, simply because someone is a good person. It's not unusual to feel this way. I think anyone becomes immediately more attractive when they seem like a genuinely good, reliable person. I'm happy for you. Smile. Take it slow still and realize that, really, most people shouldn't act like this. Your ex was garbage. This guy sounds like he's not. Maybe he's the opposite. Take a deep breath, relax. Very difficult thing to do is not compare him to your old worthless BF. This guy's his own person. He has his own way of doing things. Treat him for the way he behaves, not what you're used to. He showed you that he cares for you. His future actions, hopefully, will continue to show you. Learn how to enjoy being treated with courtesy, compassion and respect. You can do that by showing the same to him. Enjoyed the relationship. I hope it goes well. Reading this made my day. Don't be scared. This guy is a keeper. Now give him the best sex he ever had, lol. Haha. This is my plan. This is wonderful. This stranger on the internet is so happy for you. Perhaps your love language is acts of service/kindness. That could be another reason why this event is so significant for you. I hope things work in your favor and that you continue to heal from your previous relationship. Also, please consider refraining on comparing your relationships. It can get messy and unhealthy that way. Best wishes. Yes, I've tried really hard not to compare them because I know that no two can be the same. But I just couldn't get over how different in a good way it was! Exclamation mark. Please know this normal behavior any decent person would do. He's not a saint that you have to hold on to for dear life. Just the basic standard of good person. My 27F partner's 28M father, 55M, is acting weirdly and I'm worried, scared, and don't know what to do. My partner and I have been together a really long time and this only came out 2 years ago. Since then it seems to have gotten worse. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. My partner and I are basically married, have a house together, planning our lives together, etc. His parents love me, mine love him, all is well in the world. One day I receive a series, more than 50, of text messages from his dad, out of the blue, talking about murder, mafias, how I am spying on him, I hate him, their family has bought me no, my family are murderers, he knows magic, there's magic in my eyes but I am not trained to use it, etc, etc, etc. I try calling him, goes to voicemail. I text back, I get ignored, he just goes on with his tirade. I obviously freak out. I spoke to my boyfriend and he basically said this just happens sometimes. I had to press on and get another few hundred texts before he told me it's been an issue for a while. His dad just goes into these phases where he sends out text messages to whoever, and in person it's like nothing has happened. And indeed, when we see each other in person, he is as pleasant as ever. But then only hours later he might start sending tens and hundreds of long text messages, ranging from illogical stories about how he once shot a beer cap from a very large distance, to threats to me and my family. A few months ago we tried doing an intervention, my partner, his mom and I tried talking to the dad about seeing a therapist. He went into defense mode, got very angry and frustrated, was not listening to anything we say, not making much sense, just going on about how it's just words, it doesn't mean anything. When I brought up the threats on my family, he said it was figurative, I'm just saying they are stupid and could get killed, etc. His go-to defense is, you are all young and stupid, you don't understand. My partner and his mom begged the dad, through tears, to talk to a therapist, but we got nothing. He did at one point agree to talk to someone, but when we actually booked him he went back to his "are you stupid, I am not seeing a shrink shtick." Might be good to note here we are from a country where mental illness is still very stigmatized. We have told him these days everyone talks to therapists and it's healthy and normal, but he won't budge. My partner's mom's mental health has deteriorated, she is often calling us and she is hysterical or crying, she is in deep depression. She lives with the dad and I can't imagine what he says to her in real life, judging on the things he texts me. My partner and I got the mom to move out and go visit her parents for a little bit, they are not separated or anything, she's literally just away for a bit. This has now triggered the text messages again. I have received a few hundred in the past 2 days. I don't know what to do. I know you can't force someone to get therapy, but I am worried about his and the mom's physical health. What if he gets violent? About my partner and his mom's mental health, hers has already deteriorated and my partner is trying to be strong but this can't not take a toll on him, and, more selfishly, I am worried if there is anything we should know about as we are thinking of having kids soon. I am sorry for the really long post. Too long didn't read. My partner's dad sends hundreds of threatening and illogical text messages, but won't talk on the phone. In person he acts as if nothing ever happened. Think he needs professional help. And I'm worried about his wife and son's mental health, but we don't know what to do.